Mr. Speaker, Excellency, members of diplomatic missions, members of the House of Commons and members of the Legislative Assembly, distinguished members of the ethnic community leaders in Canada, ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, szanowni państwo. Today, as we mark the 82nd anniversary of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, nations around the world join in deep and spiritual reflection of the pain and suffering endured by the millions of people under the two totalitarian regimes, German Nazi and Soviet Communist. Communities across Poland, Baltic states, Europe, Canada, and around the world will take part in the ceremonies to mark Black Ribbon Day, a day of tribute to the millions of innocent victims of communism and German Nazi in Europe. Established in 2009 by the unanimous decisions of the House of Commons in Canada, Black Ribbon Day commemorates the signing of the infamous Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Orchestrated 82 years ago between the Soviet and Germany, the secret agreement divided Europe into the spheres of influence and resulted in the suffering, humiliation and death of millions of innocent victims in concentration camps built and operated by the Germans and labor camps built by the Soviets. On September 1st, 1939, Nazi Germany invaded Poland from the west, provoking the outbreak of the World War II and then equally brutal invasion by the Soviet Union in the east followed 2 weeks later. The two sides celebrated this victory with the Brotherhood Parade of Red Army Wehrmacht, units who marched arm in arm through the occupied town of Brest, watched over by the Soviet Brigade commander Simeon Krivoshin and German General Heinz Guderian, who stood side by side. The current Russian attempts to rehabilitate the German-Soviet agreement of 1939 and silencing its long-term tragic consequences are nothing more than attempts to falsify history and defend the policy of the totalitarian regimes, the victims of which were not only Poles, Jews, Belarusian, Hungarians, Lithuanians, Latvian, Estonian, Romanian, Finns and Ukrainians, and many other nations. The lasting message from the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact is that the evil triumphs when we collective fails to stand up to it. Nowadays, no serious historian, politician or diplomat in EU, America or in Canada can doubt the reality and the consequences of the German-Soviet Pact. Yet its importance continues to be minimized in different forms by the Soviet collaborators. It is often presented merely as a cynical political device or even as a rational agreement which facilitated German Nazi plan to attack Poland, which set the Second War roaring, and which bought Stalin time to stretch the Soviet defenses. It was much more than that. Among other things, it included an agreement to divide Eastern Europe into German and Soviet sphere of influence, and mass exploitation and killing of the Central, East European, Baltic nation and other people because of their ethnic or religious identity. This pact, signed by the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany in 1939, and which carved up Central and Eastern Europe, robbed millions of their national and personal freedoms, and subsequently leads to some of the darkest days in human history, must be remembered for the rest of our life. Mr. Speaker, dear friends, I would like to say to all people in communities in Europe, as well as the North America and Canada, we must acknowledge the importance of the Black Ribbon Day and to reaffirm our collective commitment to peace, law, justice, human rights, and the respect for the religious freedom. Thank you very much.